Hey guys, it's me Kiana and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my November wrap up. Now, when it comes to me following a TBR, I always set a TBR because that is like goals I want to set. But I honestly almost never follow it. Like in October, I read 2 of the books I wanted to read on my TBR. This month, I read 4 out of the 5 books on my TBR. I couldn't get to the 5th book, which I was really sad about because I have been dying to read that book ever since it came out. But let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm not going to start my rereads. I'm going to start with my least favorite book and work my way up, as a lot of people do. So, let's go to the video. So, my least favorite book that I hate to say, I listened to it on audio because when I looked at this book, I honestly was like, I'm never going to read it. And that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lady Taylor. I give this a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, you guys are probably wondering, like, oh my god, we love that book. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. It's just when it got to the ending, it messed me up. If the ending never happened the way it did, I would have been a solid 4-star because I really enjoyed it. But when it comes to big plot twists like that, it either has to be really good for me to love it, or it's like spirals downhill. And that's what I felt about this book. Now, what is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone about? Daughter of Smoke and Bone is about a girl named Carol. They live in like Berlin or something. Czech, I think it's Czech. They speak Czech. So I honestly don't know. So she was raised by half mortals, half like demons. Like up here, from the waist up, their body is perfectly normal. But from the waist down, they either have snake's tails or anything of an animal. And I like that. I enjoyed that part. But the thing is, Carol, ever since she was born, she wanted to know where she was from because she felt like she was missing a part of herself. Which was correct. She was missing a part of herself. But the way that it played out and what had happened, her parent figures were... her father figure was the asshole, and her mother figure, which I have to say is Issa, was there for her. But the way things ended, how they shut her out, they didn't want her to know where she came from, they didn't want her to know anything about herself. That really bothered me, and I felt that that wasn't cool, so I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I am going to continue with it because I own the second book, and I want to know what happens because it left out on a cliffhanger, and I think that's the part that draws you in. I hope that it gets better over the books, so yeah. The next book, which I rated a 4 out of 5 stars, is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I read Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda back in June. I don't know if I can't remember if I did a review about it, but I am gonna do a review about this. I just don't know when. This is about a girl named Molly, and she has had 26 unrequited loves her entire life. Now, this has a lot of rep that I love, that I think is the reason why I didn't give it a 3 stars, but I gave it a 4 stars. Molly has a twin sister. They are raised by lesbian mothers, and her sister is gay, and Molly is a big girl. And I feel like there's not a lot of books like that, and we see a lot of family moments, which I loved. We see a lot of sister moments, which I loved. We see a lot of the parenting skills, which I loved. I did not like how her sister was, Cassie was. Her sister really annoyed me. I didn't like how she kept trying to push Molly to do things Molly was not cool with, and it really bothered me about that. I loved Molly. I loved her storyline. It was just her sister that bothered me because Molly is a very shy girl in here. Her sister is very outgoing, and her sister doesn't understand that she doesn't like to do things that her sister likes to do, and vice versa. And personally, I agreed with Molly when it said that when Cassie got the girlfriend and her sister started to annoy Molly. I agreed with that because she did. Everything was her girlfriend, and screw her sister. And I think that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved the plot. I loved everything about it. But it was just that annoyed me. Sorry. First, of course, to continue my reread, I read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. This, when I first read the entire series, was my favorite book. And it still is my favorite book, because now we're getting out of the naive, oh my god, everything was going Harry's way. We get out of that part and we jump straight into the, okay, you are growing up. Everything cannot be your way. You have to learn how to deal with shit. And I think that's why I love it a lot. So Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban takes place in, of course, Harry Potter's 3rd year. And in this year, the person who is believed to sell his parents out to Lord Voldemort broke out of Azkaban, which is the big prison for them. and everyone thinks that he is out to hurt Harry, which is not the case. Harry gets a new defense against the dark arts teacher, which is their best professor yet, which is Professor Lupin, who is my favorite. I think he's the reason why I love this more, because he doesn't baby any of the kids, and he teaches them, you know, war has happened, war could happen again, you guys need to get ready for it. And I really, really love that. So I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. The next I bought for my birthday, and I'm so surprised I got to it so quick, because when I get books I usually just like wait off. I don't read them right away, but I read this one because I got so much hype, and that was Warcross by Marie Lu, and I loved it so much. I tabbed this baby up. The ending messed me up, and I loved it, and I need Warcross 2 to come out already. And so this follows a girl named Amika Chen, and she lives in New York as a bounty hunter. Warcross is this big game that takes place all around the entire world, not just in the United States. And on the game, like the game before Warcross starts, Amika breaks into the game, and when she does that, people aren't supposed to see her, but people see her. And she is flown to Tokyo by the creator to help him find the person who is breaking into Warcross and trying to stop him. And they ended up, like, you know, falling in love, like, but it's not really. And I think that's why I like it. Well, I liked it because when it comes to Marie Lu's books, it is either a hit or a miss for me. Like, I loved her Legend, the first book. I read The Young Elites because I was like, you know, I really love that book. Let me try another one of her series. Hated it. So I was so scared to go into this one, but I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna do a book talk because, like you see, I tabbed this up. So, love this. Need the second book already. The fifth and final book that I read in the month of November that I thought I wasn't gonna get to and I thought I was gonna hate was This Savage by V.E. Schwab, aka Victoria Schwab. I love this. I had seen so much hype about this book and so much like talk about it that it's amazing, you should read it. I agree with this because I did not expect what happened to happen. Basically, this city is split into two, the North and the South. The North is run by Harker, which is Kate's father, and he doesn't control the monsters, but his monsters have like a imprint of an H on him to control the city, while the South is not ruled by but controlled by Henry, which is August's father. And they had a truce 6 years ago that basically says, like, that basically brought peace to in the entire city, and a lot of people like refuse to go into that city because they know how bad it is. August's family makes him go into school because he wants to go to school. He wants to be normal, but they keep him inside all day. So they send him to the school where when Harker's daughter is going to be at, so he can spy on her. And when shit goes down, shit went down, and I absolutely freaking loved it. And I honestly want to go out right now and go buy Our Dark Duet so I can see what happens, because the ending messed me up. I love August as a character. I love how Kate grew as a character, because in the beginning she was just a bitch, and then in the ending she still is a bitch but not that big of one, and August is a sweetheart and he's my honey and I love him, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next book. So these are the 5 books that I read in the month of November. Comment down below if you have read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, and I have helped you pick them out. And I will see you next time in a new video. Bye bye.